Hello. Gonna get started in just a second here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here. Hey, Stefala. Great to see you here. Good luck on your first show is real soon here, isn't it? On LOTRO stream. Hey, Feklas, good to see you as well. Welcome everyone over on YouTube as well. Thanks, we got a couple dozen of you. St. Joan, how's it going? Hello, and welcome to Court of the Rings here on twitch.tv/LotraStream and youtube.com/LordofTheRings/live. I am Lotro's community manager, Cordovan, and I am continuing my journey through Landreval. Figured I'd run the Springfest today, because I haven't yet run that on the live stream. And this is the final weekend for it. We heard you. Last weekend, so we had a 2-weekend sort of relatively typical time frame on the Springfest. And I think it's a combination of people liking the new items and just being busy this time of the year on that. And I guess it was Saturday afternoon, I was checking our Twitter feed and Facebook and the forums, and I just saw so many people like, can you just please, I need another week, come on, don't be a joke. So we talked amongst ourselves through email on Saturday. We're like, could we just give people another week? Because why not? And so by the time I guess it was Sunday mid-afternoon, we were able to actually make the event changes, in terms of the shut-off date in our WES file or whatever you call it. And so I was able to announce an extension of the Spring Festival through this weekend. So it's going to be shut off. It'll be 3 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday. So running through the day on Sunday and then being shut off early Monday morning. And I think that we're going to take that as feedback as well for these kind of events, particularly events like this year's Spring Fest, where there are some time-gated challenges where you basically need to run a thing what was under the old schedule every single day of the event in order to succeed. We want to give people time to do that and still, hey, I got a concert that night, I got to bring my kid over to, ballet class, whatever it is, right? So I think in the future when we do these kind of time-gated events, we're going to have a bit of a longer festival just to help accommodate that schedule. What, joik? So when I first moved to Massachusetts, I moved here from Georgia by way of Minnesota, yeah. And I had just driven my U-Haul, 20 hours or whatever, and I got set up in the apartment, and at the time, I was just like, I'm just going to dump all these boxes, I'll deal with this stuff tomorrow, I'm going to go out and have a beer. So I found the nearest place to get a beer and went to the counter, and I was like, well, since this is my first time in Massachusetts, let's try one of the local microbrews. So I asked the bartender, I was like, okay, so what do you have on tap? And he was saying all this sort of stuff like, yeah, we got Budweiser, and we got Coors, and we got blah, 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 and we got Macalta. And I was like, I've never heard of Macalta. All right, let me order that. So get me a Macalta. He brings out a Michelob Ultra. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm in Massachusetts. It's kind of an infamous story about that accent. Yep, that's true. So, all right, so I am on Landreval here. And gonna run the Springfest, because why not? Like I say, this runs through the weekend. Hope you've been enjoying it. The Moon Moth seems to be a hit. The new kites seem to be a hit. Reprimand Tweens.
Greetings, traveler. Will you stay a moment?
So looks like this is all hedge maze stuff. I don't know that I totally want to do the hedge maze stuff, but we'll see.
Hello, friend. Could you help me with something?
Will you give me a moment of your time, friend?
Alright. Garden of
Could you do
Pests.
something for me?
I don't think I'm going to Dweeland. That's okay.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Alright. So there's the hedge maze stuff. Let me see, pick up a few other things. I guess while I'm at it. The festival grounds. Go Dweeland or Thorin's Inn to in-league quests? Yeah. Can't handle a hedge maze as well as I used to. Makes me motion sick nowadays. Yeah. Alright. So, I don't know. Maybe I will just bop over there. I'm just, like I said, I'm just kind of hanging out, doing stuff. I'm being sociable with y'all. For those who don't know, I did update the event schedule essentially through the end of the year. But it's missing a lot of stuff. The way we tend to do some of the weekend events in terms of non-festivals and non-hobnanigans is we tend to do it kind of roughly about a month out. We sort of want to be reactive to what folks are doing in the game and what they want and all that sort of thing. So Quartermaster and Tolero and I will sort of be like, hey, in a couple of weeks from now, can you do a... And so it tends to be a little bit more last minute on some of that stuff. But in cases where we have, say, Yuletide, Fall Fest, Harvest Fest, all that sort of thing, we already know what that's going to be throughout the year. So I posted that up in the event schedule this week, so you should take a look at that. We also do have the full weekend set of events through the next, I guess, 5 or 6 weeks or so. And we'll refill that out again as we get to sort of the area. Dances with men. Wait for the dance celebration of men to begin. Do not leave the dance area. Where's the dance area? Is that the dance area? Ah, I left the dance area. No, I don't want to leave the dance area.
Hello, friend. Could you help me with something?
Okay, so this must be the dance area, huh? All right, so anyway, that's basically the dealio. So that's pretty cool. Corn maze. Yeah. That's a good one. Should be dancing. Well, I guess I'll leave for now. Doesn't look like the dance area is doing its thing.
Will you give
Welcome,
me a
my
moment of
friend.
your time, friend?
Got a server. All right. Yeah, Children of the Corn, man. I tell ya, that Stephen King knows how to write a spooky story. I grew up in southern Minnesota, so where I grew up, there was a lot of cornfields. And so as a, teenager or whatever, we'd take a look at that story and be like, "Ew." So, yes, I grew up by a lot of cornfields. Hmm. Well, maybe I will head into the maze. I hope it's not too mazy, though. That maze is too mazy. Yep. Man, my computer's a little choppy today. I wonder if I don't have something going on with my computer. My computer is not playing well. There we go. Chicken. Whoa. I did update Twitch. I wonder if that's not causing me trouble. I must have already done that one. Hey Robert, nice to see you here over on YouTube. I'm having a heck of a time with my computer today. Bummer. LOTRO stream Moobot, huh? Yeah. I have to admit, I don't use Moobot. So those of you folks who are using Moobot, that's fine. I enjoy that, but you ain't get to do it during my show because I don't use Moobot. I don't have time. It's just one more complicated thing. Oh no. Come on, I'm a dwarf. I can handle it. Maybe it's a Mikalta. No. Oh, I've got 2 minutes to have all those beers? That ain't gonna happen. If you want to do it, T13, go ahead. But I guess I have yet to see the benefit of what this thing actually does. I mean, what actual purpose it serves. But that's just me. Guys, do what you like. It's all cool. It's a maze made of hedges. Hey, what am I supposed to do with you? You got a coin over your head. Oh, he's a terrible tween.
How do you do?
thou unruly tween.
How do you do?
They're not that unruly. At least they're being nice. Like, hey, how do you do? They're not like, what, man? What? Old dude. Oh, well, sorry, technical. If it involves work on my end, it probably won't get done. Nothing personal, I just think that thing is... I don't... Someone needs to tell me why I should care, you know? Yeah. I've always been one of those folks. I like in the same way, like if you do follow us on social media and that, I really very rarely schedule posts, and I know that that's there's a lot of sort of marketers and that out there that would be like, "What? You never schedule posts?" It's like, no, I really don't. I don't like auto schedulers. I don't find them to be valuable, and I can always tell that it's an auto scheduled post. Like when I see other brands or games and stuff and they were making their posts, it's like I can 100% say that post was auto scheduled, that one wasn't. There's just something about the personal communication of actually typing it into you know, Hootsuite or whatever it is you're using and receiving the benefits of it. I don't know. Like I say, some people are going to disagree with me on that, and that's perfectly fine. Whatever you like, you know. But like I say, for my purposes, I almost never auto schedule tweets or Facebook posts. I prefer to just make those posts when the time is right. Sometimes on weekends I'll schedule it. Like if I just know it's going to be a screenshot or something like that, it's like, hey, that's cool. You know, I can just put that out there, right? But if it's not something like that, then I usually... there you are, you terrible tween. Yeah, see, my computer is just not... I wonder if it's trying to do some kind of Windows update or something like that. I'm guessing it is. No, I mean, and I don't want to minimize Eldoleth's excellent work on the MooBot. I mean, clearly there are folks out there who get a lot of value out of it, and that's totally fine, right? That's why it's like, hey, go for it, you know? But just me personally, I don't see the point. What does it do? If I want to tell you who's streaming, I can just tell you who's streaming, you know? But that's just me. I'm an old fuddy-duddy. Get off my lawn.
A lovely day, isn't it?
So I'm trying to find those final signs. Anyone have any idea where I should be looking for these confusing signs? I'm just following the left-hand path rule to sort of figure out where I need to go, where I've not been yet. I assume everybody knows this, but just in case, if you ever find yourself lost in a maze, just either follow the right-hand wall or follow the left-hand wall, and eventually you will find your way out. Hey, Gussie. How's it going? Nice to see you here. Delete key for the win. Are there any festival rewards I really want? Yeah, I want all of them. But I don't have... I've been too busy this week to really... Well, these past few weeks to really run it. You know, we were getting... I mean, we were full steam ahead with a lot of meetings on Mordor and working together marketing things. We've doing a lot of planning for our anniversary, which is, you know, coming up real soon. April 24th is the formal day. And so I've been working with Quartermaster in that. As a matter of fact, if you saw the GIF that we posted a couple of days ago, we're going to be doing more of that sort of thing throughout the coming weeks, just because they're cool. And the basic idea is to reminisce over some of the areas throughout the game and just kind of just have some fun with it. We also have some pretty cool social stuff going on with Chance Thomas. He is doing a bit of a retrospective on his music, and we're going to be posting up some of his songs as YouTube videos, along with some thoughts from him, written thoughts, on sort of the event, or what inspired the music and things like that. And I believe that's kicking off around the middle of the month. And we do have, as you can see in the event schedule, the anniversary party tree and all that sort of thing happening not too far from now. What is it, the 10th? Next week? Something like that. And then we have one other big event that we have not mentioned yet. It's going to be a special 10th anniversary. See, I don't even want to say what it is because it's going to give away what it is. Thing that you'll be doing for, you know, about a month or so here if you want to. And that's pretty cool. And that's going to kick off a little bit later in the month, I believe. And so anyway, that's all, that's basically what's going on here. So we have a lot of planning in the works, a lot of sort of pre-planning and getting things ready, keeping busy. But that's been taking up a lot of our time, so I just haven't had a lot of time to just sit around and play. You know, it's sort of the way it goes sometimes. Oops, wrong map. Oops. Lost in the hedge maze. Dum bum. But that's not on the event schedule. Again, because by putting a name to it, we sort of give away what it is. And so we didn't want to do that. Where is that exit? Because it must be this way. There we go. But as soon as we announce what it's going to be, and my understanding is we will be doing that announcement not too long from now. No, you did not miss the talk about the 12-hour stream. I can reiterate that. So the formal 10th anniversary date of Lord of the Rings Online has been determined to be April 24th. Like with a lot of MMOs, it was kind of a rolling start, so people who were in alpha, beta, and what have you got in early. In some cases, up to a week or so. So really, the formal start date is a little fluid, but we've designated April 24th as the formal 10th anniversary date, and that's a Monday. So the trick with that is, though, is that I need time to prepare for the 12-hour live stream and get all the assets ready, and plus a lot of the devs are just, they're busy on Mondays. So what we're going to do is actually have our 12-hour live stream on that Tuesday, the 25th. So April 25th, Tuesday, will be the 12-hour live stream, and I'm going to... Oh, there we go. And I'm going to be on from... let me just call it now. I will say... noon to midnight. It's most likely the time that it's going to be. Alright. Eastman cloaks. I'm not level 75 yet, so there we go. Alright. Cool enough. I guess I can go back into the maze and find a few... We'll try this drinking thing this time, see if I can get that done. Not that I'm a little more familiar with it. So yep, noon to midnight Tuesday. It's going to have, say, dev interviews, some gameplay. We're digging into the archives of, our videos, concept art, pretty much anything we can show off. It's not going to get us into legal trouble. We're going to do on that Tuesday. And if you saw the DDO one last year, it's going to be somewhat similar to that.
How can I be of service?
I will be in-game as well. Probably doing some monster spawns, hanging out, probably giving out a few gifts of various things that we can give out. Similar, though, to the... Similar to the way DDO worked, though. Pretty quickly, we can crash a server if we're not careful. Because if all of a sudden we try to have, 200 people cram into an instance, it don't work. So what I'll be doing is a fair amount of server hopping, moving quick. And we'll just kind of have to see how that all goes. So we'll play it by ear. I tend to be a little kind of off the cuff on a lot of this stuff as it is. And that's the way it's going to be this time around, too. So it should be a really fun time. And I think if you enjoy some craziness, you're going to have a good time here as well, because we get pretty nutty. But we're also going to have sit-downs with members of the dev team, both current and past. Just sort of talking about what they do and what their memories of making the game are and things like that. So it should be a pretty good time. I'm really looking forward to it. And now that we're actually in a pretty good place here, because unlike say the DDO one, we actually have a studio now to do this sort of thing, and so that's cool.
What can I do?
Should be a little more organized even and flow perhaps a little better than the DDO one was, where we really just kind of were off the cuff at my desk. So that's cool. Oh, I see a diary here. Yeah, the audio will be fixed this time because we're in a permanent studio here. The issue last time ended up being actually a Twitch issue, where Twitch didn't like the mixing board I was using because it didn't understand how to... It was like, oh, I need to do something to stop loopback, and it was causing loopback. If it had just sort of stopped trying to be helpful, the audio issue would have been solved. Afterwards, when I actually had time to sit down and do some user testing of it, I figured out that if I had done a command line in the executable, I could have solved the problem. But of course, in the middle of it, I didn't realize that. But this is a totally different setup here. I actually set this up so that I wouldn't even have to worry about that, because I know you know, we are at the mercy of Twitch and XSplit, so. So instead what I have here is I've got two mixing boards, one for input, one for output, rather than running both the input and output through the mixing board and preventing loopback on my own just through hardware configurations. I could totally nerd out on audio equipment. But you guys don't want to hear that. For example, I recently picked up a set of AKG M220s. I can't wait till they arrive in the mail. It's going to make my studio monitor setup far more superior.
How can I be of service?
Yeah, so for the 10th anniversary, I figured you guys are all kind of sick of playing your characters. We're just going to delete everybody and then, you know, just start fresh for the next 10 years. That's cool, right? Yeah. All right. I am somewhat less disorientated. Should probably find the other elves, though, huh? Raffle off my account login.
Megawonnen?
You silly beans. But yeah, it should be pretty fun. I'm actually going to be rolling up. So if you want to sort of do a little pre-prep work, my plan is to be on the official Plus Cordovan character on all the servers. I'm going to create an admin for those that I don't yet have an admin on, and I'll be doing that. So in terms of where to find me and all that day, like I say, it is going to be a little rough. You can expect that if you do choose to find me, there may indeed be some lag. I tend to kind of pile, you know, people are going to pile into the instance, and that'll ultimately cause problems until I switch instances. So I'm going to have to do, you know, a fair amount of just kind of server hopping around to prevent any major issues there. But I'll be doing that, and that should be fun. And it'll be on all the worlds, just kind of periodically. No hard and fast rule as to the where and when. Just kind of keep an eye out. I'm going to try to hit every server at least once, and perhaps more than once if I can do it. I guess I will do some madness. But I do want to also, though, make sure that I don't completely ruin people's gameplay. So, for example, when I'm doing monster spawns, there was a recent event that, while the community really enjoyed it, was a little problematic, and that was when some Balrogs were spawned in Bree. It was cool, but at the same time it was problematic because it people could get toasted, right? And then what do you do? So what we'll probably end up doing is find some areas that are a little out of the way, little off the beaten path, that can be done in a way that won't sort of have too detrimental an impact on the game worlds, to the extent possible. Yeah, actually, one of the other things, and I don't know when exactly I'm going to get to this, but I'm actually going to be switching computers here. There are two computers in the stream room. Ideally, one of them was for the other game, and then one was for LOTRO. Um, and that way I could have each set up specifically for either of the games. Are you goofy elves? Elusive they are. Almost got you though. I just got one more wandering elf to wander into. And so I'll be doing that probably sometime after or during the live stream. But the reason I'm doing it is because we're going to set it up so that we can have more than one person stream LOTRO at the same time on Twitch. So we can have multiple window setups where maybe a producer or someone flips back and forth between the two game clients. Or we could have, me sit down with one of the content devs and actually run the new content together visibly without using, say, multi-Twitch or something like that. So it should be pretty cool once I get it all set up. We had some networking issues that prevented me from doing it, but that's been resolved now. So we're in a pretty good place to be able to check this stuff out. And I don't want to mess with the hardware too much before the 10th anniversary just because you don't want to, as long as it's working, don't mess with it. But, Okay. Where are the Wandering Elf? So that should be cool. I'm looking forward to giving that a test run, and I'm going to maybe do some work on that ahead of the stream because I would like to have some people sit down and run through some stuff with me. But I'm not going to make the formal switch to make the main computer be the other computer for now, just because like I said. Darn you, where are you, you goofy wandering elves? I see lots of wandering elves, but now they're ones I've already met. One elusive elf to go. I have a mic question on my YouTube channel. What mic am I using? An AT2020. Yes, that is correct. For the live stream computer here, I'm using an Audio-Technica AT2020. It's a powered microphone, so you do need to have a power amp in order to get it to, provide the juice it needs for output, unlike, say, a passive amp, which you can just plug into just about anything. But I really like it. I've been using it for years. It's really my old DDO-Cast microphone that I've had. They're about $100 if you care. With the pop filter, of course. I don't know if I've gone this way. I mean, I suppose the wandering elves are just wandering, right? But this one is being awful elusive. The other microphone I use for live streaming is just a Shure SM57. Good old standby that it's been a popular microphone since, what, the 1930s? That thing is built like a tank. I really like it, and that is a non-powered microphone. You can just sort of plug that into any old XLR output and call it done. I feel like... And where have I not been? It feels like I've been everywhere at this point. But yet I'm not seeing that last wandering elf. And I guess it could just be luck that they're wandering in a different direction than me. Still. I think by this point I would have seen it. Yeah, thanks, Nexus. I'm going through, actually, one of the tasks I'm doing is I'm going through our folders to find that concept art and that sort of thing. To just sort of put it in one big place. Nice, Robert. Yeah, I believe, so here's my philosophy on audio equipment for computers. I actually don't do what a lot of people would suggest, and that is I do not believe in USB microphones. The advantage to hardwired is you are in control. The advantage of, say, a USB powered mic or whatever is the computer's in control. So that's fine, unless you wanted to do something that is sort of maybe not by its general nature something it wants to do. I find that using hardwired equipment like actual, say, inputs, outputs, things like that, quarter-inch jacks, works far better than the new USB powered microphones, particularly when it comes to mixing boards. I've run into a lot of issues. Because I started doing podcasting in 2007, I've had a handful of people over the years who have approached me saying, hey, I want to see your setup because I've been struggling to do exactly what you seem to do without issue. And so what's the deal? And invariably, the deal ends up being that they're using a mixing board that's trying to be helpful, and I'm using a hardwired mixing board. So I believe in just sort of using the raw outputs. Now, I mean, like the general thinking is, oh, but isn't it going to be noisy? The sound quality is going to be worse. Well, you tell me. Do you hear a lot of background noise and sound compared to your average streamer? I think it sounds fine. So, okay, well, I cannot find this last elf. Yeah, for a normal user, if all you really want is one set of inputs and you're just basically using it for gaming and listening to music and that, all those USB things, they're all perfectly fine. But for podcasting and interviews and all that in particular, where maybe you're doing some unusual things where it's like, well, I want Adobe Audition to both record my microphone and the sound coming out of Skype or whatever at the same time, I tend to find that USB microphones are like, oh no, you can't do that. Why would you want to do that? That's just going to cause loopback. It's like, well, no, I'll take care of the loopback, on my end by sort of hardwiring the wires so they don't loop back. So that's just my personal opinion on that sort of thing. Not like anyone probably cares. But hey, since we're looking for wandering elves without luck, why not? But yeah, there's a lot of great microphones and all that out of the nowadays. It's one of the real cool things about The times we live, we have got some really, really amazing tech nowadays. Well, yeah, the elf is in the pony drinking wine, yeah. Yeah, cool. Samson CU03 podcasting mic, that's another cool one. Alright, Fekliz, I was looking for info about the burglar peddler skill, so the question is it intentional that it does not work from Rohan onwards at campsites? Probably not. My guess is what'll happen. My guess is probably what's going on is that it needs to be manually added and just sort of fell by the wayside on the task list. But I will bring that up. I'm actually going to copy that into a notepad so I don't forget to ask about that. So yeah, that doesn't seem right. Oh yeah, Robert. He's talking about his speaker setup. That sounds awesome. Sounds great. All right, Wandering Elf. Where's your friends? Yep, Blue Studio Snowballs. Those are real popular. The long featured instances are not conducive to a school schedule. Sword Halls is therefore perfect. Yeah, we have been getting really good feedback on the new set of featured instances. Folks seem to be pretty pleased with it, so that's great. Always nice to get people what is making them happy there. We do want to rotate out the featured instances periodically, just to refresh them and keep things interesting. But it's always good to know kind of which ones you particularly like and which ones maybe you're less into. Yeah, I can understand why you would think it may be intentional. I mean, if it is, it's news to me. Because, yeah, I don't understand why that would make sense. Unless there's maybe a lore reason or something that I just can't think of. But, I don't know. Doesn't seem right. So, I guess, what else can I talk about here? Talked about the event schedule, talked about the 10th anniversary. Say I don't want to give away any of the surprises at this point, because it just, wouldn't be a surprise very much if I just told everyone about it. But, so anyone know what the deal is with this Wandering Elf? Am I just sort of waiting for a Wandering Elf to spawn? Or am I just being really unlucky and being in the opposite end of wherever this NPC is wandering around? Do they have random gen spawns on this? It's not too interesting watching me run around the hedge maze. I guess I'll just call it. Oops. Well, I guess that's that. Ah, the elf is in a corner, huh? That's useful to know. But I had done the left turn thing. I wonder what, why I didn't find it.
Greetings.
Well, I will deal with that elf later.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
Eat pies! I will try. Dwinstle, a dwarven minstrel, can definitely eat many pies. Yay.
How do you do?
Dwinstle, pie-eating champion! Nice. That is my kind of title. Ah, so Maven. I'll have to look up Maven's guide for that. It sounds like she may have a good way to do it. Now, for me though, I guess if you know, if now that I know that you guys are telling me go to the corners, that sounds pretty okay. That's cool. I'm on Land Revol, Lady Gun. The basic idea is I'm going to try to more quickly level up this character when I have a little more time, because I want to be higher level as quick as I can to run various characters through content with you guys and gals. But I also don't want to just sort of gift of the Valar my way up. So the basic idea is I'm just focusing a lot on the epic book and running that up. And then when I do get a character on a server ready, I'll switch to a different server and do the same thing. Now, I'm not going to be completely geared out and everything, because there's just no way to do all that and remain, you know, at all realistically active. But at least the end goal is, you know, given another year or two, hopefully I should have decent level characters on just about every server. That's the goal. I don't know that I can say what my favorite class to play is at this point. I played a hunter prior to working uh, on the Lord of the Rings Online team, and I do enjoy the hunter quite a bit. But I've also been really digging this minstrel, so I don't know. Well, why don't I head back to the hedge maze? I have just a few minutes here. Let's see if I can find that 6th elf. Yeah, so Stefala, why don't you, if you don't mind, put in chat here a little bit about your show. My understanding is you're going to be kicking off your show this weekend, right? So go ahead and let people know what's up with that. Are there going to be quests during the anniversary event that give Athelian essence fragments? No. I don't think that's the direction we're going with it. Alright, so there's one wandering elf. That's that corner. So I've done southwest. Let's try southeast. But that's not to say we don't have some cool stuff coming. It just won't be that particular thing that you mentioned. Oh, okay, there's the southeast wandering elf. Got that one, so now let's try northeast. Any hints? So, like, the problem is I can't think of a good hint that's basically doesn't give it away, and I don't want to give it away. So, I know that that's probably the northeast wandering elf. Alright, let's try northwest. Yeah, I can't think of a good hint that doesn't basically just give it away. So stay tuned. It's going to be cool though, and it is going to be something you'll be okay. I got the northeast. So looks like I got all the elves in the 4 corners. Well, alright, that's pretty much going to do it with the show anyway. I'll come back and find that elusive elf. I probably missed the west corner one. Okay. Okay. I'll take a look at that again. Alright, oh, back up. I just missed it? No! Okay, well, I'll give this a shot. I got a couple minutes. So I was heading this away. Okay, I've got that wandering elf. It's a terrible tween. Not all who wander are lost, I believe they say. They sure are hard to find. Warrenhelm. Ah! Thank you, Barnhelm. You rock. All right. There you are. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cool. All right, so that's going to wrap it up then with Court of the Rings here on twitch.tv/LOTRO and youtube.com/Lord of the Rings/live. Thank you very much for watching. A reminder, we do have the Springfest running through the weekend, and we'll have a lot more information real soon about our upcoming 10th anniversary special event. You can find the event schedule for some of the other cool stuff going on, and follow us on social media because, like I say, we've got some cool Chance Thomas and artwork and gift-related things that we're going to be doing a couple of times a week throughout the month. So you can find us facebook.com/Lotro, twitter.com/Lotro. We're also on Google Plus if you're into that sort of thing. All right, have fun, everyone, and I will see you next week.